Welcome to my show. How is everybody today? I am really excited. I have to tell you, we have had some problems. I haven't been able to, Angela and I were trying our hardest to be able to get her in today. We've had some technological problems on her end, so she wasn't able to get her camera going. So unfortunately today, we're not going to be able to have Angela on the show, and I truly apologize for that. However, that gives us a week to bring more audience people in, because we're going to have her on next week. Come hell or high water, she and I are going to work on this. I want to make sure that we get her on the show because she is such an amazing human being, an amazing reader. And what's really cool is I want to show you what it's like to have two psychics together to read you. And I think it's really, really awesome. So again, I'm really sorry. Angela's had technical difficulties on her end trying to get in, but we're going to work on that. So Angela's actually going to be on next week's show. And that's going to be a lot of fun because that gives you, the audience, to get more people to come and watch. And that's something that's going to be really exciting because it's not something that's been done on Facebook before. This is a first time thing. We're going to be really, really excited to do that. However, today, I am doing readings for everybody, so we are going to do that. I promise that we will have Angela on because you really want to experience her work. She is absolutely phenomenal, and she's actually the person who told me I was going to be doing this with my life. I feel like crying right now because I so totally wanted her on the show today, but she's been having some technical difficulties. So we're going to be bringing her on the show next week. Today is going to be your day. Today, hey, Angel, can't wait to see you and Angela work your magic together. Yeah, me neither. She has actually been on my show before. Now, if you go to my YouTube site, you can see us working together when we did TCN. So you'll see what that is like. You can go to Raising Energy on YouTube, but we are going to have her on the show next week. We're going to definitely do that. And she's probably even going to watch the show with us today for a little bit. But we have to work out some technical difficulties. Having said that, I do want everybody on the show today so that you can let us know how you like the show. Give us your experiences. Today, I want this day to be about you. Today, I want this to be about your experiences. What kind of experiences have you had energetically? What kind of psychic experiences have you had? I want our audiences to know how normal they are. I want people to understand, especially young people out there who might watch this either now or later, that these kinds of experiences are had by everybody. So I want you to come onto our show and I want you to talk a little bit about that and ask your questions. I will do readings. And we do have our first guest today who's been waiting so patiently. And we're going to bring in a very interesting human being that I absolutely love. His name is Matt. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good, Angela. How are you?
I am phenomenally good. I'm sad because I really wanted Angela on the show today, and that was something I was really
that would have been great.
But you know what? She's going to be here. We are going to have her on the show, so I'm really excited. What can I do for you today?
Oh, I just wanted to know what's life got in store for me in the next 10 years or so.
A lot of exciting things. Your energy is very bright right now. It's very bright. It's very healthy. It's very good. Even though we're all in isolation right now, I find a lot of people are actually coming out of their shells, having gone into that cocoon, right? As the caterpillar, we're all starting to come out as butterflies. And I think it's a really beautiful thing. And your energy is just vibrant. It's actually very etheric and has a lot of angelic energy around it. It's quite beautiful. So
I believe that, yeah.
Particularly, what kind of experiences have you had that you're willing to share today?
Well, one experience I had, and this was with a long time ago. I was at a friend's house. I think it was about 2013 in October, and I was out on his back porch, and he hadn't mentioned to me that his house was haunted. So I didn't know this was going to happen to me. But I'm standing on the porch, and I see what I can only describe is like a blue light. It looked kind of like lightning, but it was just like standing there there in like a suspended animation, but it had started from the back forest, and it kind of managed to make its way to me, and it was like I couldn't describe how fast it was moving, but it was moving so fast, like I was like, what is this? Like it just what am I
Yeah.
looking at? And like literally to this day, I still am not exactly sure what it was
And how
specifically.
did that make you feel? Like, were you scared? Was it calm? Like, how did that make you feel?
Actually, I was calm up until it got about 20 feet away from me, and then I felt really scared. Like I just like it didn't feel right. Like just you know how you when you know something's wrong and it's just like in your body, you're like,
Well,
this
it's
is
an interesting thing, though, because a lot of times we register these experiences as frightening and as something as wrong because it's an unfamiliar, right?
oh,
And it's a
absolutely.
really interesting thing, that. Thank you so much for that experience, and thanks for joining us today. I really,
Oh, no
really
problem.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Great.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Sarah,
Thanks very much.
bye.
Thanks, Angel. Bye bye.
So yeah, that's a really cool experience. Thank you, Matt, for sharing. And if anybody else has their experience, I would love you to come on today and talk to us about it. This is a really cool thing because he brought up something very interesting. As children, we have nightmares, and those who are gifted psychics and gifted angel seers and what have you, what will happen is we'll have dreams and we'll have things that frighten us, not realizing that these things are quite normal. It's just the energy is so different and it's so unfamiliar that it becomes jarring to us. What's really, really interesting, though, is that for me particularly, I find that when I have those experiences, they are now so familiar to me that I see them coming, and it's a really, really cool thing, and I actually look forward to it. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to give you the link, because today is your day, and you guys can come and click on that link, sit with me, join me on our show today. So here in the comment section, I am putting in the link. Hang on a second. Come on, link. There we go. Here's our link. There we go. There's our link. How come everything's so slow today? There it is. And if you've seen our show before, you have our link already. It is a singular link, so it's for us. Please feel free to click on that. Come be a guest on our show. I want to hear your experiences today. And just to say what you know, kind of expand on what Matt was saying, the reality is that we do get scared simply because it's an unfamiliar. If it doesn't feel right to you, ask. It's that whole concept of we are in control. We don't work for spirit, and spirit doesn't work for us, okay? So Carla says, my husband Joe is a reluctant medium, and I feel like sometimes and then there's no more. I'm interested in hearing that. So Ashley is ready to be a part of the broadcast. I can't see you, Ashley. Oh, there you are. So I'm going to bring you into our show today. Hi, Ashley. How are you? Can you hear me, Ashley?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Hi. So
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can totally hear you. Can you turn off your Facebook, please?
Awesome.
Turn off your Facebook. That'll help.
Yeah, I just did.
Perfect.
Okay.
So tell me about your experiences. What have you experienced in the esoteric or the psychic realm?
Dreams are a big thing of mine. And I feel like if I've got something weighing on my mind that day, I kind of ask spirit and I ask myself to, like, you know, bring me a message in my dreams and try to help me clear it out and figure it out. And every time I do that, I successfully have a dream at night and I journal it and interpret it. And yeah, I find really accurate messages come in that way.
And have you been doing this for a long time? Like, this is something you've been doing since you were a kid? You've had these dreams? Or are able
I've been having these dreams since I was a kid. I've been a lucid dreamer when I was a child. And I actually self-medicated very heavily to get rid of it in young adult years because I didn't understand it. And now, probably within the last 2 years, I see it differently. And I'm working with it and learning how to kind of interpret it and use it for my highest good. So
And
yeah.
you know, that's really funny, because that was going to be my next question is when did you, or how did you start to yourself hone it and start to hone it? And I think that's really exciting that you have that awareness, and we're starting to have that awareness in ourselves as well. And that's a really good point, because it's funny, I live with lucid dreamers. Both my son and my boyfriend are both like that. And I find that now it's infiltrating into me too, because I'm not a dreamer, right? That's not where my work is, but I'm finding that I'm a lucid dreamer now, like you. I'm starting to ask those questions before I go to bed and getting those answers, which I think is really cool. So thank you for that
Yeah.
experience. Any questions that you have for me or anything you wanted to know today?
I actually just had a loved one pass recently, and he passed. It was not from COVID, but he passed in an old age home by
Mhm.
himself. And I haven't been able to get in touch with the family or anything. And I've kind of been trying to connect with him for the
Yeah, I was
last,
going to say, I'm having a bit of trouble connecting with him as well, only because he's there. The sense I get is he's doing something right now, and he can't connect to you. It's almost like they go through an orientation, and there are things that he needs to do, things that he needs to heal. There's a healing process happening with him at the moment. He's had a very rough life
Okay.
this time. He had a very rough life, so he's healing that. But he's actually going to come into your dream time, so you can ask for him to come. But if he doesn't, wait. I want you to wait about another maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Also, it's the time we're in. I have a question for you. Have you found that you're a little fuzzy right now? That things are just a little
Yeah.
more. Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
me
I
too.
found, I tried to read my own tarot cards, and I've never been stumped reading tarot. And especially for myself. And I kind of just, but it wasn't like I couldn't even think. I couldn't even get the process going. I just put them
Yeah.
down and I said, I'll come back.
This is my medication for that these days. This is my cinnamon coffee. So thank you so much for sitting with me. This has been an absolutely lovely little chat. I truly
Yeah.
appreciate you for coming on. And I thank you. Thank you so much. Have a
Thanks
fantastic
so much,
day.
Angel.
Thank you.
You too. Take care.
So we are finally working out our bugs, and this is really, really awesome. I'm really exceptionally excited to be actually doing this show now, because we're making it about you. Again, I want Angela on the show so bad because she's so freaking good. And we are going to get her on the show. We're going to work out those bugs. But for now, I would love to have you on the show and tell me about your experience. Now, we were talking to Ashley about dream time, and dream time is really important because there are two kinds of dreams. There's a dream dump, which is the subconscious mind releasing things that we haven't assessed, addressed. And there are lucid dreams. Those dreams are actually going into the Akashic records. And that's a whole episode of its own that we'll talk about with people who are actually experts in that. I have a whole slew of guests lined up. So the reality is when we're lucid dreaming, that means we actually go somewhere, and we can control that. As Ashley was saying, before she goes to sleep, she can ask a question and get the answer in her dreams. And you can do this too. That is a very, very actually simple thing to do. A glass of water before bed, and have it with something to eat, because you get to absorb it into your body better, rather than drinking it straight before bed. This is a little trick, because then that's what wakes you up and makes you go to the washroom. Have a cookie, have a piece of bread, have something small with your water, and it helps you absorb. It helps the body to take that in and gives you more clarity in your dream time. Like Carla. Okay, I'll do this again. My husband is a reluctant medium, and I feel like I'm his antenna. Spirit comes to me first and asks me to let him know they have something to say. Yeah, and you know what? That does happen, because what happens is, as I was saying before, when we integrate, we tend to work with each other. So you're the antenna. So you know the information will come to you, but it's also coming to him too. And it's just about working together and getting the information for him, or vice versa. So for me per se, my boyfriend is highly gifted and highly intuitive certain areas that I wouldn't even touch, like economics, housing. He can see things like I'll feel something and he'll turn around and go, "You're feeling this." And I'll go, "No, I'm not. But I really am," right? And it takes time for me to address that. So he can see things in me, I can see things in him. And so we work together in that. And sometimes, you know, if I'm stumped with something, it's like, okay, I'm seeing a little bit of a vision. Sometimes he'll help me extrapolate and expand on that. So that's something you might want to think about doing, Carla, is when you have a vision or information, talk to him about it and see what he feels about it. Have a conversation rather than going, "Well, you know what do you see as a medium?" or "What are you feeling as a medium?" Have a conversation. "Well, this is what I'm getting. You know, how do you feel about that?" And actually talk to him about it, and that will expand, and you'll start to see his confidence grow in it. Leslie, hi, how are you? I'm gonna go back a little bit, see who's been here, who's here. Hi, Kevin, how are you? Lisa, hi. Sarah, hello. So we get a lot of guests on our show, and I love that. And today is really about you. So I would love to have you guys sit with me and talk to me about your experiences with the esoteric, your experiences as a psychic. Maria, I've had so many experiences as a young adult and child, but I have felt so blocked the last 10 years. I'm trying to open up my abilities recently. Okay, this is a really interesting thing that Maria is talking about. So what the things we think, they become real. Okay, what we feel becomes real. So if we say to ourselves, you know what, I'm blocked and I've been blocked, guess what? You're going to be blocked. I'm having a really good hair day. I'm sorry, I'm feeling very mockingbird today. It's like one thing to another. This is my COVID hair. My COVID hair is actually, my isolation hair looks really good, don't you think? Give me a thumbs up if you like my hair. Oh, I'm being vain. I don't know. It's the coffee. I'm telling you, it's the coffee. Anyway, let's get back to Maria's point, which is way more important. The reality is if I say I'm blocked, you're going to be blocked. Okay. Energetically, it's not about what you think. It's really about what you feel. What you feel becomes real. Okay. Thoughts are things is another one, but for me, it's about what we feel. Leanne Wee says, hi, how are you? I'm actually really great. I'm sad because Angela wasn't able to come on the show today, but we are going to get her on the show, I promise, because that is something I really want you guys to experience. When it comes to Maria's comment, and thank you, Maria, for that comment, the reality is allow yourself to know that spirit wants to work with you. Just sit and do nothing and listen. Ask a question and then do nothing and watch the revelations come. Now, having said that, as I was saying to Ashley, I'm feeling a little bit fuzzy myself lately. I'm asking questions and the clarity isn't 100% there at times. It is a little bit where we're at in the energy. It has nothing to do with the isolation, it has nothing to do with COVID, it has to do with the energies that are moving. That's all. Sylvia says, you are beautiful. Oh, thank you. I have beautiful hair, she says. Oh, thank you. Leslie McGill, I'm having a problem with my 1-year-old puppy and housebreaking. I know he understands, but then he purposely urinates in his bed, my bed, furniture, and floor. There are no health issues. No, he's just doing it because he can, and that's really what I get. So for you particularly, I don't get that you need to set more boundaries with him because he's just being, he understands what you're saying. One of the things you can do for that is chicory. Thank you. Chicory Bach remedy. Chicory Bach remedy is a really great one for animals who urinate around the house. And all you do is a few drops in your hands, pet your animal with it. It's also thank you territory that he's going through. I'm the boss. Am I the boss? He's peeing and going, okay, am I the boss? Are you the boss? What are you going to do about this? That's the other thing I get with him. So I would suggest chicory, but I think use that for a week. If it doesn't get better, even a week and a half. If it doesn't get better, my suggestion to you, and this is a no fail, so even if you want to go straight to this, go straight to this. The Bach remedy I would use for that is vervain, 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 and vine Bach remedy. So I'm going to put this in the comment section for everybody to see. Vervain and vine Bach remedy for territory. Now, how you use that is really, really cool because what happens is you can put the vervain and vine in a spray bottle with bottled water and you spray it around the house. And even if you have, let's say, an ornery teenager or, maybe your daughter is living in the basement with her boyfriend and there's an alpha thing going on, I don't know, whatever the case may be. Somebody obviously needed to hear that. But the vervain and the vine are really good because it's about obstinance and rigidity, and it's about flexibility in territory. Now, what's really interesting is I do get a little bit of flexibility issue with you too, Leslie, in that this is my ground, this is my, so this is a Bach remedy that's going to help both of you find that compromise and that middle ground. You're going to find that it works really, really well, okay? So when we talk about our psychic and esoteric experiences, we're not just talking about our ghosties and ghoulies, although those are really, really cool experiences that we have. We're talking about energetic experiences. We're talking about the things that we feel in life. Like in this time where we're isolated, we're actually all feeling each other. You know, I can sit here and detach from that and feel my energy and discern that from other energies. Now, I am doing readings today, so if you guys want a reading, you're more than welcome to put it in the comment section, or you can come and sit with me. I've put the link in the comment section. I'm going to do it again because I love you guys and I want to see you. There we go. It's in there. I'm becoming like a studio goddess. I'm figuring this all out. It's so cool. And I love doing this show. And please understand, once isolation is over, I'm still going to be doing it. I want to make it bigger. I want to make it better. I want to, you know, have more audience. So if you know people, let them come through. Now, having said that, we are talking about you and your psychic abilities today on Thursdays for the next 4 weeks, starting this Thursday at 7 p.m. I am doing a forum. So this forum is a place for you to ask your questions, and it's going to be a Zoom forum because I know a lot of people don't want to do this on a public scale. So this forum will be like 10, 15 people at the most, and it's going to be a safe place to talk about what you're going through and how you want to deepen your skills as an esoteric, whether it's a Reiki master or whether it's a psychic. Regardless, I have so much knowledge where this kind of stuff is coming that I'm just bursting at the seams to share it with people so that you can share it with others. That's part of what is really exciting for me. So this Thursday, it's $12. All you have to do is click on the link, which I will put in here too. I'm a link bunny today. Like, this is crazy. So it's raising energy, raising energy, there we go, .com / where's my / events. And in that, you will find our Thursday Ask Angel Forum, which is starting this week. Hi, Sarah. Oh my God, it's been so long. So raisingenergy.com events tells you what I'm going to be doing, what classes I'm going to be holding, what forums and seminars I'm going to be holding. I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to help people understand who they are. I want people to have things to do because we're getting to that point in isolations where people are going, okay, I want something to do that's different than my routine. Tell people about it. Tell people about this show, right? Because this is really for you. It's something fun to do. Tina, hi, Angel. Can you tell me how my dog is doing and is she in pain? Yeah, there is a little bit, and I'm looking at the left side just below the rib. There's something going on there and something happening also in one of the joints. I don't know what that is. It's just a weird pain. It's muscle. It's like a muscle or tendon. It's not joint. It's actually muscle or tendon. So something is going on there. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I miss you too. Okay, so here's something I really want to talk about and something I'm going to be writing about for the next probably week or two. Understand, if you have animals and you are now not working and you're in isolation, understand this is a little bit of a mind bend for them. All of a sudden they have you at home. And this is really great. It's been probably a little confusing, but hey, mom and dad are home a lot more. What's going to happen when we go back to work? Please be aware of their feelings. Please be aware that they're going to go through some of them, not all of them. All of them be like, oh my God, thank God you're leaving. Oh, thank God the place is mine again. But you are going to have animals out there who are going to be really depressed, and they're going to be crying for you because what happened? I feel abandoned. Did I do something wrong? Why aren't you here? So please, I just want you guys to be aware that when we go back out there, and we are going to go back out there, our animals are really going to feel that. And that's something that we have to keep in mind and share with others. Just be gentle. Ella, oh my God, it's been ages. I'm wondering what I personally need to do to get back into my dreams, astral projections. I experience these in waves, and I would love more consistency. Consistency is just about practice. I think, as we were talking with Ashley earlier, this is something you need to practice every evening. As I was saying, have a glass of water, but drink it with something to eat, because when you drink it straight, it actually goes through your body. It doesn't give your body a chance to actually absorb it, which is what helps you have dream time, by the way, because there are neurons in our brain that actually need to connect physically in order for us to be conduits. So that's one of the things. The other thing thing that you can practice, Ella, is that before you go to sleep, ask, give me dreams tonight, or answer questions and ask a question. Let me remember them when I wake up. I'm not a lucid dreamer. That's not one of my specialties. So I have to actually ask that. And I actually have to work at it in practice. So these are a couple of ways of doing that. On Thursday, I am holding a seminar through Zoom. And the link is there, raisingenergy.com/events. And you can ask these questions and I'll go more into detail, right? So Ella has this question. I have a few minutes to be able to give her some information, you guys some information, because I want to get to everybody. And in these forums, I'm able to go into more detail, give you tips, give you all of this kind of stuff. Kimberly, hi, Angel. My cat Bella just crossed over. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This past Saturday. Is there anything she wants me to know? Yeah, she's happy. She's really content. Her back is straight and I'm seeing her move and it's just, there's no pain. There are no aches. She was really not feeling well, like not at all. So she needs to know she's good. She's straight and narrow now. So she feels really good. She's not missing the car ride. So I feel like there was a car ride that scared her. But other than that, she's okay. She didn't know what was going on, but she feels like you told her where she was going and what was going to be happening. So everything is good. Doesn't anybody want to sit with me in studio today? I'm going to cry. I couldn't get Angela in. Now you guys want to see. I'm joking. I'm actually really enjoying doing the comments as well. So Carmel, can it be time of year with dogs? Mine is looking like she's not well either. Okay, so yeah, it is spring. So animals are going to go through transition right now. There is that as well to consider. So thanks, Carmel. My cat Blackie, Carl's having to brush her consistently because they get very hot. There's a transition period even mentally. Some animals will go into heat. Even if they're fixed, they'll still feel it. Kevin, hey, Angel, my job is just sapping all my energy. I just can't get out of this funk. I know it's not where I'm going to stay, but I need to make the most of it while I'm here. What can I do? Okay, this is a beautiful question, Kevin, because a lot of people feel that way about their work. And one of the things that, and I don't care how much you love your work, you're going to feel this at some point, okay? I absolutely adore my work. I really, really do. But my reality is that when we get into that funk, what do we do for ourselves energetically? You know what? For you, it's about getting outside. I know you may not be a runner, but go run anyway. Do like a 5-minute jog from here to the corner and back again. Do something with you. Do you have a dog? Because I keep feeling like you should be doing something with your dog, but do it for you. If you don't have a dog, go borrow one. Because for you, getting outside and feeling motivated to get outside is really important. It's not about sitting on your porch, having a coffee. For you, it's about actually getting the breath going. So anything, Kevin, that gets your breath going is actually going to help you when you're at work. What you do in your private life, you particularly, okay? What you do out there is actually what's going to sustain you. Oh, look, I have a guest waiting to come in. Look at her.
Hello.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Doing good.
Oh, you look great.
Yeah.
You look
I love your
fabulous.
show. It's amazing.
Thank you. And it's even better now that I can get guest ons without glitches, eh? Like guests without glitches.
I found the connection for the Thursday show, so I thought I'd come and sit with you.
Thank you. So tell me about some of your experience. What kind of experiences have you had on a psychic or esoteric or a ghost level or an energetic level? I know you've had some, so why don't you share if you want to?
I've had some and at different stages in my life. Some stay with me now. And some have to do a lot with animals, but on the dream side, when the first lady was talking to you there, it actually just gave me chills. But I get these dreams that reoccur, and I go places, and it's often the same people or a similar setting, and it's almost like a storyboard. There's some kind of continuation with it, although from time to time, it can be a really scary event, and I have to use my go back into my mind and tell myself that this is a dream and that I have a way out and get out. But then I'm hesitant to go back to sleep because I don't want to go back into that experience. And there's a point where you can't control it. So it's really, it happens quite a lot. And I'm not sure if there's how to understand messages that are there, or
Ask.
or
When you
what.
come
But
out of your dream time, all you have to do is ask, what was that dream about? What was
yeah,
that dream time about? And then when you do that and you fall back asleep, you'll get the answer to that question, because there's obviously a message. So recurring dreams is a really interesting thing, because when we have a recurring dream, again, it could be, number one, a dream dump, something that needs to be resolved. But if it's a lucid dream, it could be so many things. It could be a message that you need to learn. It could be a test. So for some of us who work with energetic stuff, we go to new healing levels. So in our dream, we're given tests. Spirits will come and test us. We're given, like, literally, it's almost like an exam, like a holographic studio that we go into, and they test us. So until we actually, like a video game, get past that level, the dream will reoccur. So what I've learned when that happens, because that happens to me, is when I wake up and go, okay, I don't understand what's going on. I need the cheats. I need to
yeah,
understand what I need to do to get through this dream. What do I need? And then I'll fall back asleep without even realizing it, and the answer will be there.
yeah.
Okay.
It took me a while to learn how to get out of that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
And unless you've been in there, it's really hard to explain. But you're literally, it's like you're physically there, but you have to use your mind. It's like mind control. You have to use your mind to get yourself out, and it's such a strange experience, but it happens more and more.
But you're at a whole nother level than a lot of people too, because a lot of people aren't even aware they can do that, right? They feel they're at the mercy of their dream or their experiences, where you're starting to learn, hey, I can control this. It takes experience and time, but I can. Now, hang on one second. I believe Kevin was saying he has no dog. Kevin, I keep seeing you with a dog, so there may be one coming for you. Regardless, though, I see you outside more, and that needs to happen if you really want to get through the work thing and the hump, because I don't really see you getting out of your job at the moment. I do think that this hump is about just getting outside, and the dog could be is a symbol of that. But I do see you possibly getting one. Okay, Ashley, 1 second. Our brains typically forget a dream 3 to 10 minutes after waking up. Dream journals are a great tool to quickly write it out. Yeah, so if you want to remember a dream or what you've gone through, because you're right, like within 10 minutes, I usually forget too. So this makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Karen, for being with us. And I think you're actually one of those people who's going to be at the forum on Thursday, are you not?
Yes, for sure.
Oh, I'm so excited to
Yeah,
have
because
you
I have
there.
some questions on the animal side. I keep getting called towards horses mostly, so it's
See,
really
well, guys, if you want, we're
interesting
going to be
when
talking
it
about
happens.
animals. Yeah, we're going to be talking about animals for sure, thanks to Karen. So, yeah, I can't wait to see you on Thursday, and thank you for coming on my show tonight.
Well,
I
thank you.
really,
I
really.
love your stay-at-home hair.
Oh, thank you. I know, I'm being such a girl today. Carla's probably listening to me upstairs going, oh my God, she's in a weird
Well,
space today.
I went days. I didn't even bother drying it. I just let it dry on its own. But for today, I got to make it a little bit special.
Actually, this is au naturel. I don't do anything with it. I wash it and it just dries. But I have to tell you, this is how much spirit loves me. Okay, it wasn't a week before the quarantine hit that I went, I have to go get my hair cut. I have to get my hair cut. And so I got my hair cut by the grace of the hair gods. My stylist was available, and I got it done. So this will last me about 7 months. So I'm actually in still the new stages of it. So thank you, Karen, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank you, and hi to everybody. And I love this, so I'll keep watching on the other side.
Thanks, and let everybody know. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was fun. So we do have regulars on this show, people who come and watch the show and people who are fans. And we also have some new stuff that we're going to be doing. Raising Energy on Rogers TV is no longer in studio because of isolation until that gets lifted. But we are going to be doing some panel shows that you'll be able to watch on TV and maybe even on YouTube. We'll see. We're going to be taping something there. So lots to do for everybody. And please remember, these are little tiny mini readings. If you want something that's more in depth, you're more than welcome to book a reading with me at raisingenergy.com. Right now, I am doing readings through Zoom, which is really, really cool because you get a copy of your reading. I also do them through Instagram, Facebook, Messenger. I am still doing readings, and I'm available for anybody because I know this can be a really hard time for people. There's a lot of questions as to what direction I'm going and where am I going and what do I do. So please feel free to book something, whether it's a small reading or a larger reading, but something a bit more in depth. Crystal, yay, you're the best. Oh, sorry, you guys. I love you guys. This is why I do this. Kimberly, I've had dreams like that too. I usually remember them and write them down. They've been very active for the last year. Yeah, that's a very interesting thing that you're saying, Kimberly, because for the last year, things have been opening up. There's a new evolution happening and a new energy that's been moving through that's really helping people who are not only intuitive, but people who are finding their feet in the spirit world. Everything is starting to open up. For some, it's a little easier than others. And I find one of the reasons for that is some of us actually do resist our own abilities. They have an experience and then they dismiss them. Oh, that was an experience. I'm not psychic. How am I to have this? You know what? Who are you not to have an experience? Who are you not to be necessary in some situation that you're on the vibration of? Because remember that we're vibrational beings, right? So you may get information about a certain situation that someone else may not. So here's one of my really interesting psychic experiences. When I was younger and just starting out in this particular field, not even really on the path yet, I was lying down. I had just come off a tour. We went out west, and I remember lying there. We had no television. We disconnected everything because we were away for a month. Basically, all we were doing was paying our rent, so we had nothing, no phone, no TV, no nothing. And I was asleep, and all of a sudden I woke up, and I remember feeling something really heavy on my back and thinking, oh my God, something really bad just happened in the world. And I passed out. 3 hours later, I actually, someone had come to my door, and it was a friend of ours, and he goes, did you hear what happened? And I said, no, look, dude, I'm on my way to work. And he turns around and he goes, no, you're not. And I said, why not? And he goes, because 911 just happened. The planes just crashed into the Empire State Building. I'm like, what? And that's what I had felt. I was on that vibration for whatever reason. And I could feel the brick. I actually saw metal. And I remember saying before I passed out, and I literally passed out, something really horrible happened in the world today. And now, flash forward years later, when the tsunami hit, my son kept coming out of his bedroom and saying, Mommy, there are people. And he could smell, and I could smell water and stuff like that. But I wasn't as in tune as he was. He was really feeling and seeing it. And a friend of ours who had been experiencing the same thing had told us to create a little gate in our home to pass all the people over who were being harmed and who had crossed over during that tsunami. So I didn't feel on the same level as my son did at the time because he was on that vibration, right? So when we have these experiences, we may feel alone in them, but understand we're not. There are others who are experiencing things that are the same or similar. They just may not be in our vicinity or our local area. You may be that one person in the family who's on that vibration, and that's okay. This is a normal part of who we are, and we're finally coming to a point where it's not only accepted, it's thought of as really cool, as a superhero power, which I think is amazing. Questions? Anybody have a question that you would like to know about? Who would like to sit with me today? This is your day to talk to us about your experiences. And the reason I want this so much today is because I really believe that it's a time for all of us to not only know that we're normal in these experiences, but as we have this time for ourselves and this quiet time for ourselves, why not play with it? Why not be able to really enjoy it, explore it? You might be bored at home. Well, here's something for you to do. Okay. So when we talk about having these psychic experiences, we really talk about being connected. And what are we connected to? We're connected to the earth. We're connected to spirit. These are all things I wanted to talk to Angela about today, which we are going to talk about when she's on our show. But unfortunately, she's had some technical difficulties and things were going to work out. But for the moment, we've turned this show, as I am apt to do, into something that's a lot of fun. And that's, I think, one of my gifts is adaptability. I am a Gemini, and in being a Gemini, I'm able to move very swiftly from one thing to another. When I was in theater school a whole nother lifetime ago, when I was in theater school, that was one of my favorite things to do was improv. I was trained in classical theater. So if you can imagine, sorry, I got something on my screen here. If you can imagine having to improvise Shakespeare, that's a gift of its own and a lot of fun. Oh, look at all these likes and loves. This is so cool. I'm watching everybody. Oh, you guys, I love you. And that's a really funny thing, talking about theater, because that's something I've actually been going back to this last week. I actually watched the 25th anniversary version of Phantom of the Opera just recently. You can go to YouTube and find it. It's really, really good. And I, as a theater student, used to work at the Pantages Theater, which is haunted, by the way. Sorry, not the Pantages Theater, at the Royal Alex Theater is haunted. The Pantages Theater is where I used to work. I have stories about the Royal Alex. Oh my gods. It was so, I used to go upstairs to the very, very top of the theater in the nosebleed section. That's where I would usher sometimes. And I would do work in intermission for myself. And I would see and I would hear and I would experience. And I wasn't even on this path at the time. It was so cool to work there. I loved it. Well, when I was at the Pantages, I actually saw, drum roll please, the Phantom of the Opera 75 times. I am not kidding you, 75 times. I've seen almost every single Phantom, from Michael Crawford to, to just everybody. It was a really incredible experience. But what's really cool about going to it the other day was that I am now older, much older, and I'm seeing the show with such new eyes, from the place of an energetic, from the place of somebody who believes in magic and mystery in such a different way than I did when I was 18 years old. And what was really amazing was the guy who played the Phantom was probably one of the best, beside Michael Crawford, that I've ever seen. And I went to research this guy. Turns out he's Canadian. Oh, he was brilliant. Like, it was a beautiful production if you guys get a chance to see it. I've also gone back to watching Shakespeare, and I was watching Gandalf last night playing the Scottish king in the Scottish play. I'm reluctant to say, because in theater school, when we would say that, they'd actually make us spin 3 times, spit, and hop on your leg. I kid you not. And they'd send us out of the room to do it. And it was horrible what we went through in that. But it was fun. It was fun. So understand, the reason I'm bringing this up, well, 76 now because I saw it the other day, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because theater and the arts is highly energetic. And for any intuitive, we'll find that we're very creative people. And the reason for that, it's a safe way for us to express our psychic energy. So when you're on stage with somebody, you're actually channeling certain things to be able to play that character. You're channeling that character. You're creating and bringing to life an energetic being through you. Especially if it's a historical figure, you will have moments where you're actually bringing that character in on a spirit level. It's just an amazing experience. But it's a really amazing thing to watch. Not only the connection between 2 actors, you can see the energy being tossed back and forth, but also you are healing your audience. Because your audience, there's no coincidence as to that group of people who comes to see the show, because there's something in them that either needs to be healed or elevated to the vibration of what that show is about. So with Phantom of the Opera, it could be mystery. With a David Mamet play, it could be about thinking and really feeling enriched by the time you finish that story, about family and about society and all that kind of thing. These kinds of plays and these kinds of, if you go see a Picasso or you go see, you look at a Rembrandt, they evoke different emotions and you're being touched on an emotional, energetic level. So right now, during this time, this is a really good time to explore those things, because you might find stuff you've never had an interest in or didn't even know you were interested in. Play a little bit of jazz. That kind of stuff. Connect on an energetic level on something that doesn't feel safe, something you've always said, I don't know, I don't want to do that. Do it anyway. Carl and I went to see a really great indie play called Shades earlier last year. And he'd never really been to an independent show like that before. And I thought, oh my God, it's going to be so great. It's going to be so wonderful. But I was really hesitant because I didn't know how he was. I wanted him to enjoy it. By the end of the show, I loved it. I thought it was great. But I think he enjoyed it way more than I did. And it was a wonderful experience for both of us, because I think I had shown him something new. And for me, it was getting back to who I used to be, because it was so grassroots, and I love grassroots theater. In fact, for those of you who don't know, here's a little piece of trivia about Angel. I actually used to own and run a rehearsal space. I used to own and run one for grassroots theaters. And the reason I did that was because I truly believe that I love the end product, but it was the process of bringing a play to life that was so enriching. Every day you learn something new and you're growing, and energetically you're changing. And I didn't realize how important that was to me as an energetic, because I wasn't doing this at the time. When I was an actor, like I said, it was my safe way of expressing my energetic self through my art. And my art was bringing other pieces of art to life through owning that rehearsal space. That was my favorite thing. Once you're in show, you're learning, but all of that kind of comes into play as a package at that point. Sarah, when this is over, I plan on going to a musical just have to decide which one. And that's something Carl and I were talking about last night, is I would like to go see more shows again and go back to the gallery. I was just starting to do this when isolation had hit. I was starting to go back to who I was in that regard, which was fun. I don't crave being an actor anymore because energetically I know who I am. It's not what I mean, but I still love to watch it, still love to partake in it. Anybody who would like to sit with me today, our link is in the comment section. I'm going to put it in here one more time because we have 15 minutes, so I do have time for more guests. Anybody who has either questions that they would like to ask, because I am doing readings today, or if you want to come and tell us about your experiences in the psychic realm. Have you ever encountered a ghost? Have you ever encountered a family member who's come into your dream time? Have you ever had something really weird happen? I had a beautiful conversation with a young woman yesterday who was at a friend's house, and she had something happen that really helped her move through a funk she was going through. She didn't feel normal. She didn't feel like, when she was younger, she turned off a part of herself because she was afraid because of some of the experience she had as a child. And this experience she had yesterday just opened her up. So experiences as a child can really scare us. I had some really scary experiences when I was a kid, but for some reason it kind of shifted me the other way, right? We have choices to make. A lot of us will go, okay, this is something scary, I'm turning it off, I don't want to deal with it. And for some of us, we go, cool, bring it on. And that's kind of what I want to do. Sorry, Sarah, what's the link for getting on? I just put it in there. And again, if you want to ask more questions about your own abilities, we're doing a Zoom forum on Thursday for anybody who would like to join us. And that's raisingenergy.com/events. And that's actually in the comment section as well. Kimberly, I can tell about an experience, but how do I connect to you? I just put the link in the comments section. It says app.blive.tv. If you click on that, that brings you right into my studio. There's nothing else for you to do. You'll see Angel Morgan, and then you'll see the link. It'll say Be Live. Click on that. Come be a guest. It's really that simple on our show. You click on the link. It takes you into our studio. Boom, you're there with me, and we get to talk about your experiences today. Again, I'm really sorry that Angel wasn't able to come on the show. We are going to try and get her on the show next week. She and I are going to work very, very hard to see what's up. Karen, when I was a student at Guelph University a long time ago, I had to take an elective to fill my schedule. I loved art and painting, so I ended up with a course that was all about expression. It was mime class. That's good. Oh my. Once I got over the jitters, so much fun and expressive, especially because I could draw emotions from the audience. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a give and take. It's a feeding off each other. By the time you start and by the time you end, everyone in that theater is so different. It's like reading a book, right? Or watching a movie, the feeling you have after it's really, really cool. So yeah, this show, Blake Smith, this show needs to be 2 hours long. Oh my God, I would be hoarse. Although I could go 2 hours, Blake, and I love you all. It's also fun because it keeps you wanting more. It keeps me wanting more. This is something I look forward to every single week. It was fun when I did it last year or the year before, but we didn't have the same kind of technologies that we do now where I can actually bring people in. I love talking and but being solo is so different than working with others. And on a show like this, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what people are going to say. You don't know who's going to come on. You don't know what stories are going to be told. And that to me is exciting because not only am I sharing with you, but others are sharing with you. And it's not just about this time. Remember that this goes on YouTube, so people are going to sit and watch this in the morning with their coffee or in the evening. And this is something I really love to be able to offer to others. Like this is my life. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Not only share this way, but do readings, readings for animals, readings for people, and share my passions. And I loved that I put out this meme the other day, and it's true. This did happen. Somebody actually told me once to choose between my abilities and my work and the relationship. And I lovingly wish them a good life, because I can't give this up. This is who I am, and I always encourage people to follow your passions, and those people who are right for you will come to you. And it's so funny because spirit will follow you. They're like, I don't know how many times I've been in situations where spirit will come to me and go, don't leave this situation, or you still have time here, or it's time to go. And in listening, I always find that I'm rewarded for that, and I'm bettered as a person, and my confidence grows. And understand that's true too, right? Your confidence grows with every single experience you have. It's what you choose to do with your experiences, and that's with anything, not just the esoteric. Kimberly, can you enter it again? Yes, I can, Kimberly. Here is the Be Live one that we have. Here is my link because I still have time for a guest. Okay, so I just put the guest link there, and here is the link, whoops, to the forum that I will be holding on Thursdays for the next few weeks, events. And they're only $12, and this is a place for you guys to go more in depth and delve more in depth with your abilities and ask an expert. And yeah, I do consider myself an expert, something that I'm only coming to be able to voice, because that's always been a scary word for me. Expert. Who am I to be an expert? Well, you know what? Who am I not? I have 18 years worth of experiences. I've met people. I have stuff that you can't find in books, right? I have friends who are very similar to me who are experts in their fields. And this is why I write my blog about it, mypsychiclifestyle.com. I have some really wonderful things. In fact, this week's blog, which you can find on the page you're on right now with Angel Morgan, is all about that. It's all about the ups and downs of what we really go through. And that's what I want people to understand, that as an intuitive, it's not just a scary experience. It's a happy experience. It's a sad experience. It's it's an experience where it's a great responsibility to have, right? Because when we have these experiences with other people, we carry people's lives in our hands at times in the directions they're going to go to, in our ability to guide them, or ability to connect to help guide them. I shouldn't say guide them because we're just conduits. These are really amazing ways to share is technology like this. If you're going to be a guest on my show, please understand your background apps all have to be off. Some people will turn off their computers and turn on their computers again, and that will get rid of all your background apps. That's one of the ways to get through, and you can sit with me and chat with me that way. Again, this is all about you today and what your psychic experiences have been. And we've had a few guests on, which I've absolutely loved your stories, loved what you guys have had to offer. I really do appreciate the questions about animals today, which have been fantastic. And, we had Kevin talking about work, Ashley about dreams. We've had Karen. It's just been a fantastic show, even though, again, the show, I would have loved to have Angela on. We're going to have her on, and that's a guarantee because of come hell or high water, we're going to make that work, baby. We're going to figure it out. Having said that, unless anybody has questions for today, I think, or anybody else wants to join me in studio, click on that little link. I think we've had a really, somebody's here, Kimberly DeMatteo. So there you are. Okay, so this is our last guest for today. I'm excited to have you, Kimberly.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. You look fantastic. Your isolation look is beautiful. White. You look cheery. You look absolutely phenomenal.
Thanks.
So tell us about your experiences. Tell us about something that you've experienced on an level.
Okay, well, the one that stands out the most for me is one time my daughter and I went to a cemetery, and we were just driving around there, and we happened to stop at one that belonged to a little 5-year-old boy, and he had like little toys in front of it and that. And we were like, and we thought, oh wow, that's so sad. And look at his little toys are there. He was so young. Um, I might have said God bless his soul or something. I don't know. But we got back in our car and we went home. And at my house, I had a fish tank with a light on it. And I always made sure the light was turned off every night when we went to bed. And I woke up the next day and the light was on. So I said to my daughter, "Did you leave that on?" And she said, "No." And she said, she sees spirits and I hear them. She said someone was standing in the hallway, like, or in the doorway of her room. And I actually was hearing the voice of a little boy. And he actually that night came to me in my sleep. I had a dream and he was talking to me. And he was telling me what happened. And he was actually telling me about a spirit that was in her house that I guess my stepdaughter had brought with her when she was over around that time. And he said that the little boy wanted to play with the toys, but that spirit wouldn't let him, and this and that. But I talked to him and I told him to go to the light and everything, and that he had died and everything. And he actually did end up leaving, and I was able to clear that other one out of the house too.
Wow. Fantastic. You know, a lot of people say to me that, how do you do this? Or you have to be gifted to do this, or what have you. I think we're all gifted. And just the fact that you intuitively knew what to do, the fact that you listened to your daughter is fantastic. And I think more parents need to do that when their kids come to them and work with them the way you worked with your kid. That's a beautiful example of being
Well,
such an amazing guide for both of you.
Thank you. I mean, I try my best. I've been trying. I mean, I still have things to work on. I don't always trust my intuition, and I hear voices like even my cat recently that passed, and I didn't know if am I really hearing a spirit, or is it me? Is it my mind?
I'll give you a little tip here. First of all, that's going to happen all the time. I've been doing this, 17, 18 years. And yeah, there are times when I don't listen to my intuition either. We're human, right? We are human. And there are times when I'm like, okay, was that in my head? Seriously? That's when we have to ask questions, right? That's when we have to go, okay, you know what? If that was a real experience, give me a sign. Give me a sign of some sort. And in that sign, then we can grow our confidence. But you're doing everything right. Just understand that you are human and you're going to have those moments. Just always say to yourself, you know what, do I need to dismiss this? Ask questions of your guides and guardians, even of your daughter. You know, if I feel something, sometimes I'll go to Jay, my son, or to Carl, and I'll go, did you guys feel or sense anything? I won't give them a lot of information, but then they will expand or extrapolate on that. And this is why you're so lucky to have that kid who is able to have those conversations with you, right? And that she's so fortunate to have a mom who gets it. So
yeah, when I was younger, I saw spirits, and my parents shut me down, telling me it was my imagination and all that kind of stuff. So when I had my daughter and she was seeing things too, I was encouraging her, because I knew I didn't want to shut her to be shut down like I was. Because
and that's what we were talking about earlier, right? That whole idea of we have choices which direction we're going to go, right? Because that's what happened to me too. I saw something, and my mother said, you saw nothing, you heard nothing. And rather than shutting it down, I just became a very confused person for a very long time. So I get it. And I made that same vow with my son. You know, if he should see, if he could experience, I want to encourage that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today, especially from a parental point of view. I think that's so important for us to have this discussion. So thank you, and stay well. You. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for being on my show today. I've had a really, really great time. Like I said, we're going to get Angela on the show, I promise you. I've had a wonderful time listening to your experiences today. It's so nice to make the show about you, which it always is, but this has been just so rich. And I really do appreciate you, Kimberly, from the parental point of view, Ashley with the dreams. You know, everybody had something to contribute. And that's really what my show is about. It's a sharing circle. Even when I'm doing doing readings, understand anybody who's watching out there, all the viewers and listeners, you know, this is something you're going to take away too. And it's going to touch some people. And it's going to help people learn. So thank you for being the teachers today. Thank you for being the guides today. Thank you for being the hosts today. You were my guest hosts today. And I really do appreciate our coffee talks. I really love it. And please join me again next week, Tuesdays, 1 p.m., my show. And if you want to extrapolate on your reading, I love that word today, please, raisingenergy.com. I'm open for readings, Messenger, Skype, all that jazz. And we do have a forum that's coming up if you want to talk a little bit more about your psychic abilities. Thursday, 7 p.m. You'll see it on my page on Raising Energy. And please feel free to like our page. That way you'll know what's coming up and where to go. And please let everybody know about my show.